Is that squirrel you there, Druid? Squirrel. Hi, everybody. Welcome back once again to episode 110 of Bandwidth and Banter, where we get a little squirrely around here sometimes. But that's okay. That's what we want, right? I get confused. Are you a gremlin? Are you a goblin? Are you a squirrel? Like all of the above? Also a gnome and a living pine cone.
Yeah.
Druid is amazing. She's a multifaceted changeling creature. And I just want to say thank you guys again. I'm super stoked to be here for episode 110. Yes. Of course, last night for Legacy of Lore Masters, Bandwidth and Banter, we had Survivalist Gaming on, talking about his DM style for Dungeons and Dragons. And then last week, we have Beats by Cameron on. Amazing streamer, multi-talented musician, and also, of course, a variety gamer streamer too. So if you like music and you like funny people, then definitely go check out his stuff. Speaking of talented and funny people, I'm super honored to have on tonight the show the lovely and incomparable person who we met through Rhubarb. And Rhubarb is one of our favorite humans in the world. And I'm sure that very soon TOTOKITTY will be too, because that's who we have on tonight. Let's go ahead and have her on the show. Hi, TOTOKITTY. How are you?
Hi. Hello. I'm doing very well. Thank you for the lovely intro.
You're welcome. Please reintroduce yourself and tell the folks something about your stream that you would like to highlight.
Sure. So I am TOTOKITTY, variety streamer, slightly cursed, but also your enabler for the evening. That's how I like to introduce myself. I'm a very big enabler. Usually when people come through and want something, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I don't know what you want me to say. Do it.
It's so beautiful.
I love it.
You need more enabling.
And that's wonderful. And man, look at how colorful and bright your stream is. That's amazing.
I love it so much.
I know. I can't help but be mesmerized by it.
I hope it's not too much, but it helps me feel like calm and I don't know. I like color.
Yeah. Me too. No, it's beautiful. I love it so much.
Yeah. So,
and also side note, it actually, like, because I don't wear makeup, it helps with blemishes. Like, you usually can't tell if I have a zit or something because there's so much color going on. So
thanks for sharing.
Streamer hack.
Have colored lighting. Yep. All right, let's jump into the questions here. Our first one is the one of our favorites. It's the first one we ask every person on the show. TOTOKITTY, please share a boring fact about yourself.
Boring fact. I prefer mountains over lakes. Hey, I come from the land of 10,000. I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
I support that. On my way to work, like, it has like the perfect view of mountains, and so anytime it's like foggy and stuff, my husband will go, "I'm sorry, your favorite part about driving to work, you can't see it," and it's just the cutest thing.
Oh,
I love mountains too.
Wow,
they're just so lovely. And I was born in Colorado, but I don't remember any of it because we like left after a couple of years, so it's not like I have memories. Yeah. But after doing like treks, and I was in the Pyrenees for a while, and like, I don't know, just lakes are great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't enjoy them as much as a mountain. Being on top of it, being able to see things, the view, like you said, there's always a good view, whether you're on top or where you're looking at them.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of wild when you think about it, like how they were created, like things shoving together and just, I don't know. Yeah. Something hit hard enough to make it, and now we get to enjoy it.
Yup. Beautiful. All right, TOTOKITTY. How did you pick your Twitch name, and what was the inspiration?
Oh, well, I actually, this is pretty easy for me. I'm old enough to remember when AOL first came out. And we were part of the kiddos, where like the parents were like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about online because it's barely new. And, or I should say barely old, And so when I was younger, like 4 years old type, we had a cat and her name was Toto. And
Mm.
me and her were like this. We were very, very close and we loved each other dearly to the point where my mom said that they woke up one morning because she was pregnant. The cats were. And they woke up to hearing the mewing. And my dad was like, we'll see him in the morning. Because my mom was like, oh, she had her cats. And when they later woke up because I started crying, she had her babies 6 inches from my head.
Oh, wow.
So she like had yeah. So me and her were very, very close.
Wow.
And when I was about 6 or 7 years old-ish, my dad, his cat allergy was getting worse and worse. And we were moving. And that's when my dad was like, I'm sorry, we're going to have to give her up. And so I was very sad. But, I don't want my dad to die.
Yeah. Yep.
So, long story short, again, story within a story. Like later on in my life, around like 12 years old, my dad asked what I wanted for my birthday, and I was like, to see Toto again, and he tracked her down, and I was
Wow.
able to see her again. So, like, listen,
Mm.
it all was very. She was a farm cat, fat as hell, living her best life. So everything turned out fine.
That's awesome.
But she was my cat. She was my love, And so when AOL came out, we were trying to figure out usernames, and I wanted Toto Cat at first, but it was already taken.
Mm.
And my dad was like, "What about Toto Kitty?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." And it wasn't taken, and I've just used it for everything ever
That's
since.
awesome.
I've literally used it for decades now.
That's one of the
That is-
best stories ever of a Twitch name. It's so adorable.
It's very long, but yes, it gets there.
No. Don't tell your stories how you are happy telling them. I'm here to listen and just fangirl over your answers. Okay.
Agreed.
I
I
went
love
to
it.
school for writing, so like that's why I'm a chatter, and that's I love stories. So
Indeed.
You guys are
So
watching me fall in love, and
here's an interesting question for you. Another one, the one that we like to ask everybody, just because we obviously do a little bit of D&D around here. What Dungeons and Dragons class would you consider yourself to be in real life?
Bard. Easily. My friend hates it. I don't play D&D anymore. But that's absolutely Bard. And I just think it's hilarious. I think it's a fantastic, because I like using dual weapons anyway. But the last time that I played, I had so many instruments on my body. Like I like my entire backpack was just instruments, and they're like, how is this helpful? I'm like, I don't care, I'm a bard, I'll make it work. Like,
yeah.
You're one of those one-man bands playing all of them at once.
With like the foot strings for the thing. Yeah, perfect. I love that.
None of the monsters would want to
absolutely
attack
Bard.
you because they just want to be, be mesmerized by you playing all of these instruments. That's awesome.
No, I love it. Yeah, it's an ongoing joke. I'm gonna be playing Baldur's Gate 3 at some point, and I was like, we're playing a bard, obviously. Like,
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. I played a bard my first like real big huge run with my husband.
How
And Baldur's Gate 3, that you never finished.
Bard's fun. Wait, that we never finished. We're talking about it again. Or this is gonna be our third attempt to finally finish it. We're talking about it again. And because he's like, I just want to play a game with you. And I'm like, play RimWorld. He's like, play Monster Hunter. And I'm like, we'll compromise and play Baldur's Gate.
I mean,
there you go.
Yep.
Stormy, did you ever play a bard then?
On Baldur's Gate or in
no,
D&D?
just in general, like in D&D.
Oh yeah, all the time. It's one of my favorite character classes.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I remember a long time ago I DM'd a friend of mine a solo campaign. Basically, it was just me and one player. And this was back in the old days with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and we made him a high-level bard and took him through this gauntlet dungeon that was super OP. And but we made his character really OP, so it was fun.
Just fun. Oh, that sounds like a good time.
So good. Okay. So, who is Indigo I said that. I'm so sorry. Who is Indigo? Indigo. Oh my God. I'm
You're trying to
cursed.
say Montoya. I get it.
No, I'm thinking of the Skyrim follower mod. That's where my brain keeps going.
Oh, valid.
Yeah, that's.
He's thinking Inigo, not Indigo.
I know
Color,
my
indigo.
brain can't. My brain can't say it. Who is Indigo, and what does he do? Who is the bestest?
Actually, yeah, she's my baby. Actually, in reality, she's a dog. But yeah, she's my dog. She only has 3 legs. She was born without the other leg, so she's no difference.
Huh.
But yeah, within that first year, we found out she had spina bifida, and we worked her up, got that back leg ready to go, and yeah, it's. Honestly, I should not have gotten her. I say this every single time because I adopted her. It was at a time where I had little to no cash on me. It was one of those scenarios where it's like, I probably shouldn't have. I can't imagine my life without her, though.
Mm.
You know, like you
That's a
shouldn't
great
have,
story.
but you need to. Like, it's good that I did.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I get
Animals
that.
make everything literally better.
No, it's true. And in the worst time of your life, like I always say that we're each other's ESA, which is probably very unhealthy. But but like I support her needs and she supports mine, you know, emotionally. So
Yep.
it works out.
Yup. I'm a Velcro bird who would live inside my skin if given the opportunity. So
Yes, she would. I've watched her try and crawl in there.
in my face, and I'm just like, girls, you're too
Is it
small.
a cockatoo or?
She's a kike parrot.
Ah,
Have you ever seen those videos of the birds that like hop around on desks
Yeah,
and stuff? With, like the
yeah.
little orange head. That
baby?
It's a baby.
And you're gonna get to meet the baby soon, Stormy. How exciting!
Yes, I can't wait.
She recognizes his voice and his picture. I'll be like, "Do you want to?" I'm like, Stormy. I'm like, she'll know. I'm like, she'll be like freaking out in the cage, and I'll be like, "Do you want to look at Stormy?" And she'll like knows who Stormy is. It's
so cute,
so funny. And then she'll sit here and try to get him through the computer monitor, confused, and it's very cute.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her.
It's gonna be such a meet cute for you two.
Yeah,
we'll video it. Just be like, look at.
I don't know. I might be more excited to meet the bird than you two. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I don't blame you. She's. I don't blame you. She's adorable.
All right. Moving on. I'm so glad that I got this question.
Yes.
I'm super happy. I obviously I also made up this question, but you know we do it. You know, any rate, the question is this: what is your theory on the origins of Tom Bombadil?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, like technically speaking, you know, it's supposed to be this whole like they're kind of basically angels, right?
Right.
You know, but I don't know. And my theory of things, the way that he talks, the way that he acts, the way like he has no care in the world. Like if I were to be a character from Lord of the Rings, when you really think about it, everyone always chooses a hobbit. Why wouldn't you be Tom Bombadil?
I would be Tom Bombadil in a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Everybody's always like, he's so irritating and he just talks in all these, and I was like, exactly. That's the life. Right there. He's talking with nature. He eats whatever. He gets like, I don't know. To me, listen, he's got it. And I think you're all just jealous. But yeah. But I mean, personally speaking, I think that it makes more sense that he like was like one of the like, because I know that's like the gods are supposed to have sent them down type of thing,
right.
And they're supposed to be not as powerful. And I was like, I don't know. I think that he was one of the first, like probably the first test.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he was the first one, and then they're like, whoa, too OP. And clearly his mind can't handle this. Change up the thing. Like, you know, he was test subject 1.
Yeah.
And that's why he lives in the woods.
Yep.
The lean forward, like it was okay. Hear me out.
Should nobody ask me before in my entire life, and I'm ready.
She's been planning for this moment her whole life. As a fellow Lord of the Rings fan, I appreciate your perspective and agree 100%.
Yes. No, I love it. That's actually, I'm going to be watching the new Lord of the Rings video next week with some friends for my birthday because we haven't
New
watched
one?
it yet. Yeah, there's the War of Rohirrim, I believe it's called.
Oh, the War of the
It's like
Rohirrim. Yeah,
Rohirrim,
that's
thank you.
yeah, the spin-off animated.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
I'm
intriguing. I
excited.
think it would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to day drink and watch, so I think it'll be fun no matter what.
cool.
Love it. Love it. What is your favorite question to ask people in your chat?
Oh, geez. Honestly, I usually don't ask questions. Like, I know that a lot of people do the coming up with like question of the day and all that. Generally, just a very curious person.
Mhm.
I always say that I'm a curious bitch. I will beyond just being chatty. I'm just very curious, and so usually, what happens? We do the Toto dive, is what what my friend Jess has now dubbed it, is the Toto dive. Because when I get curious about something, I'm like, let's look it up, and like an hour later, we have gone down this entire. So usually, my favorite questions are someone comes in with something and I'm intrigued. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me what that is about because I've never heard of it before. Literally 2-3 weeks ago, one of my mods, Baron Grizz, we were having some sort of random conversation about something and something save us from ourselves, Grizz, because he had just entered chat, and he was like, y'all need Dragon Jesus, and I was like, is he real? Can we? We're looking this up, and I started looking up. There's a whole thing. There's literally like a Dungeons and Dragons crystal dragon Jesus thing. And then I found out that according to some Bibles way early on, Jesus was fighting a dragon. And I was like, Christianity has completely missed the bill. Because do you understand how many people would convert? Right? Our guy fought a dragon. I'm in. Like, come on. So like that's like my kind of favorite stuff to do, is more of less of like an asking of a question and more of being like, it piques my curiosity and I just kind of go through.
Yeah.
Yep. Because in your about section, it was like, I like to ask questions. And we're like,
do.
oh, what kind of questions do you like to ask?
Oh, no.
Ooh.
No, it's a problem of mine. I just like asking questions.
That's
I
awesome.
disagree. That's a problem. I disagree. That's a problem.
Yeah. We have the same problem, apparently.
Valid.
So switching
Rabbit
gears
holes
a
are-
little bit here. TOTOKITTY, what drew you to Twitch?
Oh, well, gosh, I made my Twitch. I mean, I'm so old. I remember the Justin TV days. Those were during like the college years of we didn't have what we have now technology wise. And so it was such a good way for me and my friends to be like, we're all in college. We want to watch Futurama. There's a channel dedicated to every single episode, and you get to watch it for a couple weeks before it gets shut down due to copyright, and then they make a different channel. So like that's kind of how I initially went in. And you didn't have to have an account at that time. So when Justin TV became Twitch, Tanya DePass, also known as Cypher of Tier, who I'm not like best friends with, mind you. So like I would never say like, but some people may know her as Tanya. That's why I said. But I followed her on Twitter for quite some time. She has made like We Need Diverse Games. When Gamergate came out, was a huge like wonderful call to energy. And so I followed her for such a long time. And Dragon Age Inquisition had just come out, and she had been streaming on Twitch. And I was like, that's such an interesting thing. And I know that my friends want to watch me play this game. So I tried to stream, but that was such early days of Twitch. And I had no knowledge. I had just gotten a PC and I wasn't a PC gamer. So it was like me trying to set up. It was such a mess. And then a few years later, I went overseas. And then a few years later, I did it for charity. We had charity events, and so I would stream us doing the charity because it was supposed to be 24 hours. So it was a way to show that I'm being held accountable, that I'm actually playing games, and then people could donate. So I did that for like I think 2 years, only one time, and it was like strictly so that people of charity could come through. And then it wasn't until the pandemic that we were all stuck at home, and I was like, oh man, I haven't been on Twitch for a while, and bopped in. And then was a part of a couple of communities. Jermaine Plays was one of the main ones, who I do still call a friend, and it was wonderful to watch his journey because now he's a partner and the whole thing. I know. And so finally, I was just like, it just started really perking my interest, where I was like, I'm loving the community aspect of things. I like learning things about people, and I like learning in general. So I just took it as an opportunity. And, I had friends who were like, we would watch you. And I was like, okay, I'll try. And then just continued on from there.
Love
So
it.
I'm not
Love
looking to do
it.
this as a job, but like I like it as like a means of social, It's
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
it's so nice. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah. I love that. What did your friends and family think when you told them you planned on streaming? So obviously your friends loved it, right?
True. They don't really understand it, but they were very supportive. Like my dad immediately was like, "How do you subscribe?" And I was like, "Oh my god." So he was like one of my first subscribers when I finally got down to it. My brother was incredibly supportive. This sign here was like my first year. My brother got that for my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
And so he was like, they're very supportive. They're not there all the time, but
Sure.
but they're very supportive about it. And I think the first year or so, I think they were kind of because I'd be like, well, I'm busy because I'm streaming that night. And they'd be like, well, why can't you just, and I'm like, it's a commitment. Like you can't just like stop and then come back whenever. Like it's a commitment that it's a contract you have with your community essentially.
Yeah.
And so now they are way more understanding, where they're like, oh, are you streaming tonight? Because if not, then maybe we could do this, or if I say I'll come up for the weekend, they're like, oh, what about streaming? And
Oh,
so
that's cool.
yeah, so they're very supportive now, but my grandparents do not understand or
Sure.
I
Understandable.
love that. That's so cute.
So on that
sign's
note,
cool.
what struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Technically speaking, my PC I had initially built back in like 2013, maybe 2012 or something. And so it was like a 970, I think, was my GPU. And I was,
That's what's running this right now. A 13-year-old computer with a
GG's.
970 in it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, she get the job done, but like playing anything of substance, like with like Inquisition, it was like this is his struggle bus. So that was, I think that's always going to be the main thing is technology,
Right.
And I'm not rich. So it's just I've been very thankful for my community. Everything that you see here is literally, it's an upgrade because I always take whatever I get on Twitch and I immediately put that back into the stream, whether it be the buying of games, the decorations, the new microphone,
Yep.
That kind of stuff is, I'm like, it just goes right back into stream. So it's huge, like, thank you to all of my followers and
That's
all that
awesome.
stuff. They make it happen.
We love you. Do you have any tips that you can share with future streamers?
Oh, I mean, that's depending on what kind of tips you're looking for.
Well, what comes to your mind first?
Usually I think it's more of what are you looking to get out of streaming, I think is my biggest tip. Because I think a lot of people go in thinking, I got to do what everyone else is doing. I've got to do, they try to look at what are the famous people doing? Because they're trying to like do it quick. And the way that I've gone about it, the way that keeps you going, because not a lot of people stream for a long time. And it's because it's a commitment.
Yeah.
Like you're only going to find a community if you are consistent, if you are, and what's always gotten me through has been what am I looking forward to get out of streaming? And mine, like I have an actual journal that I initially started. And every year I always go back and see if I got to change any of my goals or anything, but they always stay the same because it's what I'm looking to get out of it is I wanted to learn. And I wanted to find people who were similar to my own interests, and especially with video games. And like I stay true to those two things. Like I found new games because of it. I found new friends because of it.
Right.
Making those connections, I think, is really important because that helps grow community. But But I think a lot of people, you can lose that along the way, and that's what burns you out. That's what makes you not happy with your content, is if you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to try something new. Like, it's so for me, my biggest tip is always, what are you looking to get out of it? And that can help set the rest of your path of how you do your content.
Agreed, 100%. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
So, what do you enjoy most about streaming?
Oh, the people, honestly. I love it. Like, it's I love I've been so blessed to even say this, that I found the community, like the things that I was hoping for, my goals. I've been able to find that community. And I've said this on stream multiple times, especially with what's happening currently in the United States. And like, it's nice to have a space that people like coming back to, and we're all on the same page. And so it's like, it makes me look forward to stream, to know that, like, we don't have to talk about these things necessarily. We do, because I'm a very firm believer that, human rights aren't politics. Because I know a lot of streamers are like, no politics and stuff. And I'm like, I don't believe in that, because like my life is then 100% political. What am I supposed to talk about? But I really, really enjoy knowing that I'm going to get on stream. We're going to play a game. All of us are in just an immediate agreement of what's happening sucks. And it's a safe space for us to decompress and to, to have the conversations that we're having,
For sure.
It's, I'm very thankful, because there's not, there's topics that are off the table when you go to your parents' house, when you go to certain friends' house, maybe they don't want to talk about some stuff. So it's nice to know that in this space, we are who we are, and we bring that to the table. So
I love that.
At least I hope that's what's happening. I don't know, I could be lying.
Goals. I mean, that's the goal, right? That's the goal for you. People love it. I'm happy. There's so many people showing up in your community.
Oh, good! Yay!
Welcome in, guys.
How long have you been playing How long have you been playing video games, and what was the first one you ever played?
Boy, this is another story. So I've been playing since basically I was born. Oh, that's me. I apologize. I don't know why I have my alarm going off. It's like 6:30. Be worried. No, I've been playing them since, because let me think here. My parents bought the NES just before I was born, and my mom said that like they had to like stop playing it because they put my brother down to sleep because he's older than me, and then they'd want to be playing Mario for like 5 hours afterwards. So it was always kind of introduced in our household. But my brother obviously got very good at games. He's 2 years older than I am. And then when I was about 2 years old, 2 to 3, I had always watched him play Legend of Zelda, the OG, and I really wanted to play, but they never wanted me to play because I was so young. They didn't, want me to mess things up, even though he was only like 4 or 5. And everyone was upstairs. And I have a vivid memory of this. Everyone was upstairs doing their thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go play a video game. I'm gonna go do it. And like I turned on the NES, but I couldn't figure out. If anybody knows the OG, it's kind of hard to navigate the menu a little bit if you don't know what's going on. And I hit select, I think, instead of start, and I deleted my brother's save.
Oh, ouch.
On Zelda, which is like huge no-no. But I wanted to play it so bad, because I had played Duck Hunt and, but that's like the one that pops out as me being like, oh geez. And it's my favorite franchise now, but like he never trusted me with a video game sense or a console sense.
That's a great story. That's awesome. So on the topic of games, what is your favorite game and least favorite game that you've played on stream?
Oh, on stream?
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard. I think, I probably Tears of the Kingdom. Just because it's my favorite game. I took a whole week off for it, so then I could play it. And like, I'm a crier as well. And the last part of that game, I sobbed for like 3 hours straight, like the entire time I was playing it. It was just so good. And that's how I knew a lot of my community, was we had met through Legend of Zelda. So I think that was just something extra special to do favorite on. Because there's other games that like I loved Witcher 3. I loved like there's other games that definitely I enjoyed, but I think that one experience wise, Tears of the Kingdom was really, really, really good. Least favorite though. I'm trying to think if there's a game that I was just like, this isn't it. I'm pretty picky about my stuff. Oh, maybe I could say instead of least favorite, I could say most frustrating.
Sure.
Was Raji. I don't know if any of you have heard of it before. It is an indie game that is Hindu, and it was really, really cool. I remember being really excited for it, and it was kind of like a Dark Souls-y type fighting game, and I really was intrigued by it because it really goes into like all of their different types of gods, and it goes through a storyline of like you trying to find your brother. It's a female-led, and it was really, really good. But then suddenly at the very end of the game, it got really hard. Like, I think the devs gave up. And like, when I tell you, we spent like 4 hours trying to beat the last boss.
Wow.
And like, and I had been playing, I think, on normal, and we changed it to easy. And even then, it took me like 3 or 4 attempts. It just was not good. It was not. I was like, this might ruin the game. Like, I was so hopped up on being like, this game is so good, this game is amazing. And then that happened, and I was like, I don't think I can even recommend this game anymore.
Wow.
And then when the end happened, all of us were like, what? Because like something happened where it's like, did she find her brother? Did she not find her brother? Is this supposed to be like maybe a second one was supposed to come out and it never happened? Like so yeah, I would say that was one of the more frustrating games that I've played.
That's good. That's good.
Which is a shame. It was beautiful. And it was so cool, like learning about all these new gods and stuff like that. Cause I'm super into like stories. I'm all into stories. And that's what the game was. It was like Dark Souls with tons of stories. And then that happened. And I was like, ugh.
Yep. That's how I feel about every platform game ever. Beautiful.
That's funny.
Anyways, not about me. Not about me.
This is going to be 10 minutes of me ranting. We're going to stop over it.
What has been the... Sorry, I can read this. I swear I can read. What is my problem today? I'm hyped. I don't
think I have an answer to that question.
What were the hardest and the easiest games that you've played on stream?
Oh, well, the hardest would probably be Raji.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So that we're good. I usually don't play Dark Souls games either. So that's why I was like, oh, this could be an intro. Like this is opening something up inside of me. The easiest games, probably a lot of like I do a lot of okay, it depends on your definition of easy and normal. Because like I've done a couple of the story novella type games. But like decision making is so hard. It gets me every time where I'm like, you say hello or hi, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna say hi, and they're like, but the 3 like chapters later, like, because you said hi, you are now dead because of that, and I'm like, because I said hi, I said hello. So they're easy, but are also very difficult.
Gotcha. That's a great answer. That's awesome. I was not expecting that. So, switching gears a little bit. This is a fun question. Can you tell us the story about the shell tattoo, if you're willing?
Oh yeah, totally. You can sort of kind of see it here, actually. So it says Utreya. I'm sorry if this is like too much for stream. But it says Utreya. Back in 2015, I did a trek called the Camino de Santiago. I quit my job. I was at a point where the place that I was working at was letting go of a ton of people. Layoffs were massive. And a friend a while prior to that was like, have you ever heard of the Camino? And she's the one who initially got me into it. And we were supposed to go together. And then she ended up backing out for whatever reason. I'm not unsure, you know, I'm 100% certain of her reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I still want to go. Like, corporate culture was killing me, and I needed a way to not deal with it. So as the company was slowly being gutted, that's when I bought my ticket. So I walked the Camino de Santiago. I walked, for people who are interested, it was Le Puy-en-Velay, which starts in France, like the upper part of France,
Oh,
and
wow.
then you go down into through the Pyrenees, into Spain, and then there's a place called Saint Jacques. They believe that this is the same path that Saint Jacques did. I'm not a huge religious person, so a lot of people were just like, this is a very, you know, religious trek, and you're going through all these churches, and I'm like, I don't know, they're pretty. um but yeah, we trekked all the way to uh from the Puy-en-Velay, and then I checked out. I'm trying to think. I know Finisterre is where I ended, so I actually went through from where the church was, Saint Compostela, I believe it was called, because that's where they believe the saint was buried.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went forward all the way to the ocean, so it took about like 2.5 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Like, it was soul changing. And
Yeah.
after that, I went to Ireland, and I was in Galway for about 3 months because I was at that side of the world anyway, so I just started bouncing around.
Mm-hmm.
And something when you're on the trail that they say is Utrea. And they have a couple of different spellings of it because there's, you know, French, and then they have Spanish, and then I think they have a Latin way as well. And mine's
Mm-hmm.
the French version of how they spell it. But when I was in Ireland, I loved it there too. I lived in Galway, and I wanted to get a tattoo to kind of commemorate.
Mm-hmm.
And Utrea is also a song that they sing, and you heard it a lot on the trail because while you're walking, like, there are some days I was walking in like 90-degree heat,
Wow.
and you're in the mountains, and like someone like me, Minnesota, flat as possible, mountains was really hard and tough, and you're trying to get to your next sheets or your next hostel or wherever you're gonna go. And people knew the trail. Now there's several trails that you can use, but people know. People who live around there, they know. And they would see you at the end of the day as the sun was setting, and people would be driving past, and they'd slow down, and they'd be like, Utrea, Utrea,
Mm.
because it means to basically go up and on, like to go beyond, like to just, you keep going. You see like the hard bit, and you just keep going anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
so when I was in Ireland, um, the shell is a huge proponent of it because St. Compostela, they have this, you're supposed to get one as you're walking. Like, it's bad luck to buy one for yourself. Apparently, I didn't know this when I went on the trail, but you get to know people on the trail when you walk this long. People will stay with you for a week, and then for whatever reason, you get out of sync of your walking habits, and then you'll never see them again. Or maybe you see them in 2 weeks, and suddenly, like, oh my God, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, she was leaving the trail, and she was done because she was only going to walk like a week or something. And she's like, I noticed you didn't have a shell. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know I was supposed to bring one. And she's like, have mine. And I was like, well, I don't, like, she's like, my friend gave it to me. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to take your shell. Like, this obviously means something to you. And she's like, no, it doesn't mean anything to me. But now it will have meaning because I'm giving it to you.
Mm.
So, so that the shell, Utrea, and then when I was in Ireland, really loved being there. So we made a shell. It's got Celtic knots and different types of things that are on it. And then Utrea is in the middle. And I wanted it over my heart because that way I will always be looking at it and reminding
Mm-hmm.
myself on these really difficult fucking days that are happening. But it's like, okay, we move above and beyond. We keep going. You keep
Mm.
trekking. Utrea. Like, so it's kind of like
Awesome.
a personal reminder for me.
That's a
I love
fantastic.
that.
Oh,
Long story long.
who knew we'd also get a motivational interview today? That's awesome. I'm happy.
Good. I'm glad.
Oh. Anyways, you guys are watching me just fall in love in real time.
In real time, yep.
Just so you know.
How does your partner handle it?
If you could be any gem in a dragon horde, which one would you choose and why?
Ooh. Oh, that's difficult. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever thought about this before because I'm too busy thinking about fucking the dragon himself. Like, literally. Oh yeah, that's actually you're like softball questions. Okay. Um,
Well,
I know. Probably there's I've seen rainbow quartz before, and those are really pretty.
they're so pretty.
I think I would really enjoy that or a moonstone.
Oh, cool.
I love moonstone.
I know. So I've got like 3 rings on right now with moonstone. Like I love moonstone. So
that seems to be
I have,
fitting.
like-
Yeah.
I have like multiple containers full of like a bunch of moonstone.
no
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, I
I'm super
love it.
envious. I would love to
love
see
them.
pictures of them.
I will send. I will send my dragon hoard.
Now, hold on a second. If you're going to ask me this question, which gems are you guys then?
Oh.
Not so easy.
It's tough for me because I love so many, right? And I'm sure you understand the difficulty in choosing. But like I'm an amethyst person. I always end up I whenever things are weird, like somebody always ends up giving me an amethyst. I don't know what it is about it, but the universe is like, this bitch needs an amethyst. And I'm like, all right, I'll take it. It'll live on my desk. It'll live everywhere in the house. I have
It's
so
beautiful.
much amethyst.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep, so
Huh.
I would pick amethyst.
Interesting. I would have guessed you emerald since you love green so much, but I can see that. The funny thing is that you picked mine, Druid. You beat me to the punch.
Because purple is your favorite color.
Yeah, purple's my favorite color. Yeah, and
look at the shit that you're wearing right now.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Amethyst dragon.
Yeah. The amethyst distribution says, I know. It's always amethyst. It's so funny.
So funny.
Thank you for returning that question on us. That was we've never had anybody like reflect it back on us. That was awesome.
Like you do.
All right. So this is when
I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut. I'm so sorry. My second thought is I would be the pile of bones in the corner.
You know, I've said this in multiple games before where you collect like disembodied, bodies and limbs and all. There's nothing wrong with the bag of bones. You can't go wrong with it.
Never, ever.
Carry it on your back. What's the worst that's going to happen? You don't need it. Best thing that's going to happen is someone's going to ask you, be like, yes, I do have an extra femur.
I do. Yeah.
So this next question is not one you'll be able to reflect back on. It's very specific to you, and that is, what's the strangest bounty Indigo has dug up from the snowbanks?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's see. We might have to go through a couple of things in the list. Definitely blueberry pancakes was her first that she like really, that's what started it all.
Wait, she dug up blueberry pancakes?
A blueberry pancake, yeah. We were going through and she was really digging into it. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Get all, dig and get all that energy out. Cause like it was just snow everywhere, icy cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, are you eating something? Pulled it back, blueberry pancake. Yeah, right in the drift.
That's hilarious. That's wild. Okay, what's another one?
So that's that one. I mean, you get the typical chicken wing. Like that's very common. Trying to think what other. We found a whole chicken before, like an actual full-fledged. Still in the container, thank God, because I think she would have gotten right into there. But I think that one was someone probably put it on the roof of their car, forgot about it. There wasn't even a bite. There wasn't anything. It was like full. I was like, oh, someone.
That's funny.
Now I'm, what? I think probably blueberry pancake. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's beautiful.
She has such a good nose. Like I never really think about it. Border Collie mix. So I don't know what she's mixed with, but definitely has the Border Collie. And it's not like I don't like dogs always. They do have good smell.
Right.
But like I'm always impressed.
Yeah.
Like that blueberry pancake was really dug in there. Like she had to like a good like couple of feet she was digging until she hit it. And I'm like, how did you know? Like,
I love dogs. I love
know.
them. I would not be. I don't have the lifestyle for a working dog like a border collie, but they're just so cute. I love them.
Get one with 3 legs. It helps.
Maybe I will.
I'm telling you, that's the only reason why. When I got her, it was definitely I was concerned about that too. I was like, she's a working dog. And they do say if you do not give your dog a job, she will choose one and you will not like her choice. So I was like, okay, keep these things in mind. Because she's only got the 3 legs and because it works out for our lifestyles. Because yes, we can still do the long walks, but she will take an actual break. Whereas a lot of border collies will not take the break.
Yeah. No, I've seen people try to keep border collies cooped up, and I'm just like, that thing needs what are you doing?
It's the same thing with corgis. People think just because they're tiny and shorts, they legitimately think they're like, oh, corgi, like it's gonna. They have no chill. No. A corgi has none.
None. And same with wiener dogs.
Yes.
Same with wiener dogs. And I'm like, run that thing, dude. That is a working dog. Give them a tunnel and something to kill. Like, that's what they were bred for.
Get them weasels.
Get the weasels. No, don't actually give them anything to actually kill. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. Sorry. This question is great. What is the best cheese and the worst cheese you have ever eaten?
Easily, American cheese is the worst. It's not even cheese. It's not even real cheese. I will fight everybody on this. There's not enough dairy content that is in American cheese to be considered this. And we did it for a charity event one point where I was like, if we get to this point, I will eat a slice of, and it was the worst experience of my life. Like it just all over the roof of your mouth. No, gross, nasty. Best cheese. I really like manchego cheese. Manchego is like, I just really like it. Like it's kind of like a go-to for me. I think it's a Spanish cheese. And like I like other cheeses. Don't get me wrong. Swiss is good too, and you get the Havarti and stuff. But manchego is just like it's got that perfect. It's not too wet, and it's like not too hard. It's got a really nice, the taste is phenomenal. And runner-up would be a goat cheese.
Right on.
Yeah, especially with blueberry. If they've got a goat with blueberry cheese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so moving into the last 3 fun questions of the regular interview. This next one. What is the weirdest sleeping dream you've ever had that you're okay to share?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, yeah, that's good to preface it with. I think I can say this because it's been so long now. I used to have a reoccurring dream about somebody that I never knew. And it's really like we kind of grew up together. This is what's really bizarre about this. We when I was a teenager, it started happening. And then it was into college. After college is when it stopped. And I'm kind of like, was there a parallel universe? And we just like lost connection. But it was just really bizarre stuff where very benign, normal things would happen. That it was always the same guy, some tall, dark-haired guy. Never knew his name. And there was one dream I had where like I knew we were married and that we had a kid. And I was like, I woke up thinking like, why would I have this dream? I don't even know who this guy is. I've never seen him before in my entire life.
Right.
And then never had another dream after college about him. And I was like, well, I don't know.
Well, if you have another one again, you better come and let us know.
Yeah, I found him.
Updates. But I mean, like I've had strange dreams, but I think this is just the weirdest to me. Because like, we always get reoccurring, but like it's like a reoccurring guy. The dreams themselves were so mundane and boring. It would be like us walking and getting a waffle, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, why would I dream about that? So just crazy. Very bizarre stuff. Yeah.
I love that. That's so crazy. It's extra weird to me because I have zero memory of any of my dreams ever.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's,
Oh.
like, super weird. I'm like, "I can only imagine what that's like because I have no
Oh.
idea."
No, when you've got a good imagination, weird shit happens. Like, especially because 'cause I'm not a horror gamer, and I have a very active imagination, and
Mhm.
so sometimes I will have dreams about, like, serial killer type shit, and then lots of just blood and I wake up and I'm just like, "Why must I be cursed?" Because it's just like, and then you can't stop thinking about it all day.
Mhm.
So, it's a cursing and a blessing, I'll say that much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you remember your dreams then, Stormy?
Oh yeah, I for the longest time in my teens and 20s, I practiced dreamology a lot.
Oh,
So
nice.
I not only did I get to a point where I could remember my dreams vividly and describe them in
Right.
detail, I went to multiple levels of being able to control the dreams in different ways.
Yeah.
Having inception like experiences where you're having
Yeah.
dreams within dreams within dreams. Um, yeah, I used to do that all the
Dreamscape
time. I
stuff. Yeah.
still dream pretty vividly. I don't. I got to be honest. As I've gotten a little older, I don't have the dreams where I take control much anymore. Occasionally, but I do miss those. It was anytime that I sleep deep enough that I do that. I'm happy the next day.
Yeah. Well, it's because you get to be your own Tom Bombadil.
That's exactly right. Well said.
Looping it back.
Uh-huh.
Let's go. If you could have any superpower, which one would it be and why?
Oh my god, I know exactly what it would be. I am a very forgetful person,
Uh-huh.
and I'm one of those people where, like, no matter where I go, if I sleep over at someone's house, I'm always leaving something behind.
Oh.
So I would like it, and I even made it so I have limitations, so I can't abuse it. Where if, like, I leave something behind, I can, like, bring it back to myself. Like, if I left my key, if I left a pillow, if I left that kind of stuff. But the limitation would be I have to have seen it. So it's not like I
Mm.
can just, like, take money from a bank. And it's
Right.
not like I
Mm,
can just, like, it has to be something where it's like I will never lose or leave something behind because I can just and it
That's an
appears.
interesting superpower. I love it. Very
Well, if you
creative.
lost as many things as I did, it's peak.
fantastic answer.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Okay. The last question of the show is always the hardest of them all, and that is we give you an either or scenario. You're going to pick
Okay.
between two different things, and
Okay.
the one you pick stays in reality. The other one no longer exists in reality.
Oh.
Ready?
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Gouda or Munster?
Oh, Gouda would stay.
That
That's
was an
actually
easy
quite
one,
easy for me.
apparently.
No, that's pretty. Yeah, Munster's fine. Munster, but Gouda is so fucking good, especially
Yeah.
smoked Gouda. Whereas
Mm.
Munster, I feel, is like one of those tangier types where it's
Mhm.
good, but you don't always want Munster.
Mm.
Mhm.
Gouda, I feel like there's never a bad time for Gouda. Never.
My mom brought me
Gotcha.
home a local smoked Gouda, and I
Ooh.
ate that so fast.
And
It
you
was
probably didn't
like
poop for a
Wedge.
week, did you?
it was so good. And she's like, "How is it gone already?" And I'm like,
Like, well,
"Smoked Gouda! Like, that's
exactly.
local! Like, what? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?" Of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah.
All right, guys. So this is
But
where we open the floor to open forum to you guys. Come up with some cool, interesting questions for our good friend TOTOKITTY here, and also Druid is going to share all of her Twitch link. So you guys, all of our community folks, make sure you go follow TOTOKITTY and send her all your biddies and subs and support her
Yes.
and lift her up on
All
Twitch.
the
We got to
loves.
keep amazing human beings on Twitch like her. So.
thank you.
Hold on, wait. I have to do 10 more. I was requested.
I have to do
1.
10 more. Get her cat. I started. Oh my god.
10 more. Well done, Druid. Well done. Thank you.
Okay.
We aim to please around here at Stormkeep.
We do. Kittercat actually asked a question. I'm going to throw it out there right now.
Yeah.
Kittercat asks, question, a lot of streamers have channel point redeems as a way to further entertain chat and sometimes the streamer. What is your favorite channel point redeem or command on your channel and why?
Oh, that's a great
Ooh.
question.
That is a great question.
I'm trying to think of through. I have a lot. Um, this is hard because I love all of mine. I feel like I have really good ones. One of my I'm gonna say old and then a new one, if that's okay.
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 That's you twice. An old one that I really love is a TikTok that someone had where they're like a little they took someone else's TikTok like and made it into like a puppet of a mouse, and it's a deal. If I only could, I'd make a deal with God.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
avocados for $10. It gets me every time. I don't know. I just fucking love it. It's so good. So every time that's redeemed, I'm always like, yeah. But one of my newer ones, I'm a huge Severance fan, and people don't use this enough, in my opinion. But I'm a huge Severance fan, which is on Apple TV. If you haven't heard about it yet, you've heard it now. Go watch it and then come talk to me because I need to like talk theories. But there's a character on there named Rickon, and he's my favorite slash I hate him character. He is so. Every time he comes on screen, I'm like, oh, things are going to be messy and terrible, and I love you. And he has a book that he writes, and there's quotes from the books that are just, why would you say this? Why would you write this in a book? And I love all of them. So I took them and I split them up, and I called the channel Redeem Rickon's Wisdom. So every time you click on it, a different wisdom pops up, like of him speaking from his book. And I'm pretty sure it gives nobody else pleasure, but I love it. Like every time it's used, I'm like, yes, give me your wisdom.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Apparently, the correct answer was the Roll20.
Oh, damn it. That is a really good one. That's definitely the most popular one. For those of you who don't know, I have a Roll20, and people can roll. When they click it, it does a random between 1 and 20, and it's to fuck the dragon. And if you get a D20, you get to fuck the dragon. And then there's like a little clip of Brendan or Brennan from like the D&D stuff. Like he had a thing on Make Some Noise where one of his skits was having to fuck the dragon or something. So he has a little like thing which is like, you have to fuck the dragon because you did a D20. That is a really good one actually. But yeah,
that's beautiful.
Nice. That's super cool. I'm glad. I'm gonna have to come and use that one now.
We had 4 people in one night fuck the dragon. It was really great.
Wow, what a dragon orgy.
Exactly. It was great. Like we get all excited every time it happens. So
I'm so sorry. Can I cut it and say what my favorite channel redeem that I have?
yes, please.
I love my emote only dance party. I put a lot of effort into it. It is my most proud because I put a lot because like the way it like changes the color in the camera and stuff, and I love it so much.
Oh, that's so
was
cool.
my favorite. And also, people sent me song bites, and so sometimes I'm like, oh, so and so sent me this one, and I love it so much, and it's just very fun, and I enjoy that one very, very much. That was my favorite.
Now you
Otherwise,
have to share yours too.
The fart command.
The fart command, of course.
The fart command.
Now, Stormy, you have to tell yours now that we've
Crap, I can't look at my own channel point redeems.
Yeah, you can.
I would say I like I created a custom sound alert for when people raid me. And
that's nice.
And I went to a lot of effort to make it, and so I kind of really dig the way it sounds. It's a mixture of different types of battle music, and it mixes in just the right way that it's pretty epic. I like it.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah,
that's a good one to be proud of. Here I am over here. Everybody's like, we worked so hard on this, and I'm like, I don't know. We fuck a dragon sometimes.
No, that's actually pretty clever though. That's
in my chat, people. So the fart command, there's one fart command, or there's one fart that's 30 seconds long.
Oh my god!
And so then you get put on the dirty butt list. And so I'm just like, oh, Vlad shit his pants in chat again. And so people are always just trying to shit their pants in my chat. So that's why
put that on the resume.
Yeah.
That's some quality content right there.
Yeah, the record's 13 times.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was broken on Thursday.
So Rhubarb asks, what is your most beloved versus hated Kevin Costner films? So I'm guessing a beloved Kevin Costner film and a hated Kevin Costner film.
So for a little bit of like background, my mom is in love with Kevin Costner, like has been for always. I knew every single film that he ever did because we had to watch them as I was growing up, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people are expecting Waterworld for me because I do love Waterworld. It's a classic. If you've never seen it before, I am willing to watch it again in my Discord. That'd be the third time I forced chat to watch. But probably Robin Hood. I loved Prince of Thieves with Kevin in there. I think because like when I grew up, like it's got the fantasy aspect of it. Christian Slater's in it. I mean, Sean Connery is king.
Yeah.
But also though, because when the movie's over, if you had the VHS tape, the credits had the music for the everything I do it for you, like the actual music video. So it was like you got two movies in one, right?
That's cool.
So that's probably my favorite one, even though I've never forced chat to watch that. Man, God, I had so many good actors now that I'm thinking about it.
It did. And least favorite Kevin Costner?
This seems like I'm cheating, but he had a bodybuilding videotape, like one of his first credits.
He did? I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't think it was him specifically. I think it was just like he was in the film about bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
And like but like he's like one of the main types that he's in there. So obviously I'm not interested at all.
Interesting.
God, that's so hard because Field of Dreams is also there. I really liked Field of Dreams. I cry at that movie every time.
Yeah, that's a great one too. Mine actually is one of his older ones. My favorite anyway, Silverado. Was when I was first introduced to him, and I loved the character that he played in that movie. He was just cool.
That's also a good one.
He was like, to me, the quintessential kind of bad boy gunslinger, you know?
For sure.
And
for sure.
I just dug him. And as far as I never watched The Bodyguard, so I'll have to say The Bodyguard.
Oh, but see, that is Tina Turner. Like, that's got the good shit in there. Or is it Whitney Houston?
Yeah, I would say Whitney Houston, not Tina Turner.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, Whitney Houston.
My bad. No, Whitney Houston.
No. Poor Druid, she hasn't seen any of those because she doesn't watch movies very often.
I don't watch movies. I'm terrible.
No, I to add to it, to one that's like not, because that was one of his first films. I will say, he did one with Jennifer Aniston, where it was supposed to be a sequel to The Graduate, and it was Jennifer Aniston's mom was Mrs. Robinson, and then he was the guy that she preyed upon, and so the sequel was about realizing, like finding that out in her family, that film had been made about her family, about that story, and how she is like supposed to be getting married, and then she meets Kevin Costner and ends up having like an affair with it. It's like really bizarre and just not well done. So that would probably, I could see that being my least favorite as well, because it makes no sense. Like there was no chemistry between Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Costner. So
yeah. They don't seem like just thinking about it, they don't seem like a good match.
Exactly. So God, I have so much knowledge about Kevin Costner that I don't need any of it, but it's there.
Nana Owl Cozy asks, Toto, would you fight Kindercat in a pudding pool?
No. Why would I ever do that to my bestie? I would fight you though, Nana. I would fight you.
Also, I know random cosmic horrors question. And I'm gonna ask it. Sorry, I have to ask as a member of the Barefoot Gang. Are you a member of the Barefoot Gang, or do you have to do shoes all the time?
Oh, I am. This is hard to say. I definitely, when I come into my own, like house, I have little slip-ons that I put on, but that's mostly because like bad back, so it like helps with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I hate socks. They make me warm, and I just prefer an open toe. So like usually I'm wearing Keens. I don't know if you guys have heard of Keens before. They're like my favorite type of shoe. They're really good for hiking. They've got apparently it first became popular with golfers of all things, but they have really, really good hiking sandals. And that way I don't ever have to wear socks, but I'm always ready, But zombie apocalypse coming, I can still run.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could live my life never putting on a pair of shoes again, I would never put on a pair of shoes again.
I wouldn't either, except I don't trust people. There'd be broken glass everywhere.
Yeah, true.
We don't need a diehard scene of me trying to get across a parking lot,
True. I have another question. If Stormy doesn't have one,
no, go for it.
What's your favorite decoration in your background?
That's a good one.
Or
so
one
I have this inside joke with my friend because I hate to dust. It's actually a channel point redemption. That's my least favorite channel redemption, because I will never ever dust. So I made it a channel point redemption, so then it has to be dusted. And every time it goes, I'm like, God damn it, I have to dust. But it makes it so then there's not like spider webs everywhere, right? But my friend gave me, it's a duck. But it's the middle finger, and I love him so much. He's a pleasure.
He's cute. Is that a
it's
flip off duck? That's so funny.
But I love him so much. Like I have little Koroks. I have cute things. I love them all. But this
well,
one's one of my
F you too, Ducky.
Exactly. So I love it so much.
That's hilarious.
Flipping
the bird, IRL. Yep.
I love ducks. I love birds. I love all things with feathers. I love them all.
You know what I've heard is that ducks are a better option for eggs over chickens.
Really?
Because if you
they
have an
live
egg,
longer, better eggs,
a better quality egg. And if you have an allergy to chicken eggs, you're not as likely to have allergies to duck eggs.
Interesting.
And they do a lot better pest control in your garden if you have a garden.
Huh.
And they lay more frequently than chickens as well, I've heard.
Yep. So, and also they'll lay through winter.
Yeah. Yeah. I just found this out recently, and I was like, I live in an apartment, but if I were to get ducks, I could do very well with them. They're cute. You can have baths with them. Like, I mean, chickens, it's not that chickens aren't cute, but like you can turn on a little hose and they'll have a party. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. They do need a lot more space. They do need a lot more foraging space.
They do, but they also don't need a coop because they lay everything on the ground. So you don't have to deal with having like all the rafters and all the things for the chickens. They just do their thing. Pluses and minuses. Also, hi, Lemon. I love you.
TOTOKITTY, do you have any questions that you wanted to ask us?
Who's your favorite interview? Just kidding.
Currently, right now, here.
Definitely.
Well, I see stitched pillows in the background. Yeah, I want to. What's on them? First of all.
So, I was born and raised here in Washington. And I was making a lot of really poor decisions in life in my early 20s. And so my mother was just like, you need to get the fuck out of here and go move in with your Nana. And so I went and spent 6 years in California. And then when I moved back, these were the first gift I was given from my little sister.
Oh, that's actually really sweet.
So they're in my background.
That's actually very cute. And then my other question was going to be more of like what kind of like, because I do art, but it's always kind of sporadic how I do it. What kind of art do you guys do, if any?
She's a crafter. Go and tell her, show her your crafting.
Oh, nice.
So this is my little fey creature that I created.
He's really cool. I like him.
I love her.
Oh, her. Sorry.
She has a little coffee cup.
That's fitting.
Her hat is an acorn.
Oh.
There's no glue. It's all friction.
Oh, that's nice. I love beanie. I have something myself where there's just something to it when you don't use the adhesive. It's nice.
Huh.
I love her. I made it for a competition for decorating a pumpkin. So this is a pumpkin.
Wow.
Did you win though?
Only reason why I didn't win was because I came in late.
Oh.
Yeah, so I came in second. And people were putting little piles of coins in front of her, as they should. But then somebody stole those coins.
Oh my gosh.
And then the weirdest stuff started happening in the store. And I told everybody it was whoever's fault. That person's now cursed. Not my fault. You shouldn't have taken her coins. Everybody knows not to mess with Faye. So
that's cool.
This is true.
This is what I make. I make
it's
cursed
cool,
objects.
Slightly cursed. Slightly cursed.
In the cutest way possible.
The art that I do when I was younger, throughout when I was a little kid and a teenager, I still draw occasionally, but not very often. But I draw, paint, and sculpt.
That's awesome.
I painted my first still life in oil when I was 12. I believe my mom still has it on her wall.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, but I don't draw and paint that much anymore. But I do occasionally create maps for the D&D campaigns using digital art.
May I also add that if you're a DM, that is also an art.
That's a good point. Yeah,
because you're writing things, you're creatively creating stuff. Like that is also an art. Believe you me, that is an art.
Well, on that note, then this opens up a great question. How about you? What are your art mediums that you prefer?
I like making things more in 3D. I wouldn't say I'm as great doing like 2D type art.
Mm-hmm.
I do okay with it, but I do very well with making things like I did jewelry for a while. I still do, but it's not like I was selling it at a point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I like so I would use old pennies, which are 100% copper, and then inner tube of a tire and stuff. I would make art out of that. What some of you all might know, I made PNG tubers for a charity event, so people could buy those, and that would go, to the charity, and then I would make them. So like Rhubarb has one where I took the snail, and it's a little tiny, like a rug version of them.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, here's one that I have actually right here because I still haven't sent it, but like I used old paint. You know how you get paint samples, like the little like pieces. So this is Katya Orbert's, and I made it into a GIF, so you can kind of see the bear, like the little logo, on them. But like I cut it out to make a little PNG tuber, and then this part here I had where I took pictures of it in different areas going up and down like a robot, and then I made that into a GIF. So yeah, I do very well in my opinion with like 3D type stuff, but I also am one of those type of creators. I don't like to focus on the same thing over and over. Like I get bored if I do it too much.
Right.
Yeah.
So like as much as I crochet and I love it, I can't make the same thing like 20 bajillion times over unless it's like really fast and easy because I get bored.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something new. I got to learn while I'm doing it.
I have to shout out the art in my background.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her.
This is my husband's art. He does.
Oh wow.
So
cool.
he did this huge piece right here. This is actually right here. This is a black on black. You can't tell it from here. This was all focused on texture. So it just looks like a black blob on the wall. But he was like working with texture and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then that one here is him. And then his mother.
His mom made that?
The skull.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have a piece of Fate's art hanging on my wall. I can see it right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I love artists, and I love art, and I can hear people talk about it all day long.
Yeah.
And I will just sit here and go, I'll just make weird stuff with stuff.
Hey, craft is art
but it's
too.
all art. Exactly. No, it is. We call it crafting, but no, it's all art. It's all art.
I actually have 2 pieces of Fate's art. One I bought from him because I liked it. I saw it on the back wall and loved it so much. And the other,
so cool.
they gifted to me at one point.
That's so
they
sweet.
also they didn't make this, but they had it commissioned.
Oh, cool.
We had that commissioned.
And they gave this to Star Kitty because this was
That's
her
so cool.
her friend, her familiar.
Oh, no way.
Little baby beholder named Philip.
Yeah,
so cute.
Yeah, one of Fate's coworkers actually made that.
Yeah.
That's so
and
cool.
We commissioned it from her. Yeah.
Dude, that stuff is hard. The first time I crocheted a bat for somebody, I had to restart it like 10 different times. Learning how to crochet in 3D is a whole different scenario. It's a game changer.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, she also made Chonkapillar.
Oh my god, cute!
Chonkapillar. I love you, Chonkapillar. I miss you so much. One day Chonkapillar will come back in a different form.
Here's Chonkapillar and here's Philip in chat. we got emotes of them.
So
I love this.
So you said that you used to play D&D. Is that something that you're just not interested in anymore, or you just haven't had the opportunity, or?
I've kind of gone back and forth. The only reason when I was playing previously, the reason I enjoyed it was because I was with a bunch of like friends. So it was really, really good. Like we're all there. And then the DM was like incredibly chill. So like he wasn't very like strict on rules and was much more about like if it makes it more fun, it's in. So like there was a point where we were trying a new campaign and I was like, I would love to be like a half dragon, which is like typically you would never be able to do that. And they had some new books, or someone had gotten some new books, and they're like, you could be an avatar. And I was like, oh my God, I could bend all the elements. And I was like, can I do that? And he was like, it'll make it fun. Yeah, why not? Like, so that's what made it fun. But most of the time, like, I'm just not good. I'm not, you know, I don't mind watching other people play, but I don't know what it is. As someone who's a writer, someone who loves stories, you'd figure I'd be all over it, right? But for some reason, it just doesn't capture my attention as much as it did back in college.
Yeah.
So, and I had a bad one in college too. I had one of those ones where it was like people were arguing for an hour over semantics of the rules, and that doesn't make it fun.
No.
You know?
No. Yeah.
So, and then you play with people where they get the they're the only real player. They're the real, you know, focus.
What is that called?
Trying to think of the name of it too. It's like they're the first person, not an NPC, but they think that they're like main character syndrome.
Main character syndrome.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
There we go. I was like, what is that term called?
Yeah. And like that doesn't make it fun either, but you're just like, we're all here enjoying stuff, you know? So that's why I'm a little nervous about Baldur's Gate 3 playing that on stream. Because I think a lot of people I'm going to be like, I have no idea what's going on. But
so when are you starting that?
I'm going to beat Veilguard first.
Okay.
So we'll do that and then we'll bounce over. I think it'll still have a good time. As long as characters are good, as long as story is good, then I'm not going to be bothered.
It's amazing. I think you'll have a great time with it.
Good.
Just don't think about D&D when you're playing it. It is Baldur's Gate 3. It is just you're having a great time, and don't worry about it's what because like, you know, a lot of people are like expecting it to be for the D&D thing, right?
Well, but it is.
But like, you do it to romance Karlak. I think that's what everybody wants.
It's true. No, that is true. That is. I'm going to be doing a dirge playthrough. And you know,
your first run's going to be a dirge.
Absolutely. Oh my God. That's supposed to be the canon playthrough, I've heard. A. B. I watched one of my streamer friends, Grayson. He played it for me because I was like, I don't think I'll ever play the game. But then my friend Ivan actually bought it for me. So I was like, yes, I get to play. But he played through it because he had played like 10 versions of the game. And said he was going to play through Dirge. And I it's so fucked up. And I was like, yeah, that's how I want to play. I want to play where it's dark. I want tragedy. I don't know how much I'll scum save. I might do one of those playthroughs where it's just like, if something bad happens, it happens. And we'll just keep going. And it'll be the most tragic thing. I love it. Make it messy.
I think you could set it up where it's like peaceful mode, but you can't scum save.
Oh, interesting.
I think there's a way that you can do that.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
But I'm mostly only nervous because I don't know enough about it. People are going to come through and expect big things, and I'll be like,
I'm looking forward to it.
Playthrough.
Yeah. Make sure if you don't mind, hit us up. Let us know when you start that, so we can share with our communities when you start that.
Yeah.
And guys, if you like Veilguard, go watch her play that.
Yeah, I've been having a ball.
Yeah, and we're at that time where it's time to wrap up. So TOTOKITTY, could you tell us one other thing about yourself or about your stream? Leave us with a word of wisdom at the end here.
Words of wisdom. Something that I always say at the end of my stream is give yourself as much grace as you give another person. Because I think that it's, and it can go double back. Like if you're not giving enough grace to another person, it could be that you're like, oh, I'm only supposed to give myself a little bit of grace. But I think it's just as a reminder where it's just like, I'm more likely to give somebody who's doing a terrible thing and be like, oh, excuse away. And it's like, you know what? We also deserve that. We also deserve some grace to ourselves, and we're all human. So, give yourself as much grace as you give another person. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. And please and thank you, TOTOKITTY. Please let us see you again. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Y'all are lovely.
Great.
Thank you so much.
I fell in love.
Wow. The time went by so fast.
An hour and a half?
I know. It came so quick.
Anyways, well, now I'm going to go cry.
I know. TOTOKITTY is amazing. I'm so happy that we met her. I'm so happy we met Rhubarb and the two of them together. And I look forward to seeing what they do going forward in the future, to see all the amazing things that TOTOKITTY accomplishes. She's very special. Guys, go support her. And who do we have on the agenda for next week, Druid?
Serendipix.
Oh, heck yeah. Serendipix.
Mighty Mango Mate.
Yeah, one of the Mighty Mango Mates. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting them. That's going to be incredible. Guys, make sure you check us out. It'll again be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time next Friday. And also don't forget that tomorrow we have D&D, hopefully. I'm seeing a little bit of fluctuation in dropped frames, but not nearly as bad as the other day. But we'll see. So we're going to give it a shot. It's weird that suddenly after years of working just fine, now suddenly it's been giving us fits. But
it'll be fun.
I'm crossing my fingers that some of the changes behind the scenes on the PC will make a difference. So, anything else to add there, Druid?
I love you guys.
Exactly what she said. I love you guys. We love you all. So let's wrap this thing up with a bow. Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
And if you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We are Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Bye.